Hi everyone, welcome to Marketing the Muse's first quick query critique online. As I have promised, I am going to be offering quick query critiques, which is a mouthful, from time to time. They are complimentary. All I ask is that you send them to marketingthemuse.com, submit them through the website or through my email, and we'll see if this is as useful online as it is in real time. Rather than spend any more time talking about it, I want to get right to my query letter that is written by a writer who I've known for quite a long time. I met her at the Southern California Writers Conference. We'll just jump right in. Dear Agent, I enjoyed your interview with blank for the blank magazine and believe from your comments you will be interested in my 70,000 plus word novel about prejudice, friendship, and courage, and how two unsettling chapters in American history, the Civil Rights Movement and the Vietnam War, affect the fate of one family, two friends, and their community. Fate Carries Its Own Clock takes place in Hadley, Mississippi, a town no bigger than a flea turd on the map. It's the 1980s and racism lingers, but Jason Lee Rainey's friendship with a black boy named Sanson never wavers, despite the bullying they endure from others. Jason Lee never knew his daddy, but he does know he marched for civil rights, and he's been told the man died a hero fighting in Vietnam. The boy worries he won't ever measure up to that kind of a person. Jamie Lee lives with Mama, a woman of unwavering strength, and his uncle Mooks, a man of simple wisdom due to a head injury. Mama holds the family together until her suppressed grief develops into a melancholy she can't shake and has to seek help in a clinic. Her absence coincides with Jason Lee's discovery of his daddy's handwritten journal from the '65 Selma to Montgomery March. It enlightens him and Sampson about the true power of the civil rights movement and incites them to want more than a life in Hadley, to become men who make a difference. It's also when he finds out the real truth about his father's death. In Fate Carries Its Own Clock, Jason Lee learns the lessons of inequality, flourishes with a bond of friendship, finds the courage to stand up to his uncle for what he believes is right, endures the senseless death of his best friend, and is always true to himself. It's 1984, the year he turns 15, and truly becomes his father's son. I wrote this novel as a work of literary fiction in the vein of Sue Monk Kidd's The Secret Life of Bees. It has been suggested it could also cross over into the YA category due to the age of my protagonist. I'll leave that decision to the experts. I've been honing my writing skills for 10 years now, mostly on short stories, until fate insisted on becoming a novel. I just received word it is a finalist in the San Diego Book Awards unpublished novel category. The winner will be announced in June. I have been a two-time finalist for Glimmer Train Short Story Contest, took home Best Unpublished Short Story and a finalist honor at the San Diego Book Awards in past years, and won 4 Excellent in Writing Awards from the Santa Barbara Writers Conference. My first published story appears in Art Times. I have included the first few pages below. If you would like to see more of Fate Carries Its Own Clock, please let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, a couple of things. Number one, first of all, I think it's a fairly well-crafted query. For those of you who would like to see it, I would hold it up here, but I think it would be better if you went to Marketing the Muse, where I have it posted. It's a full page. It's about 8 paragraphs, and that's my first speed bump because I think it's a bit too long. I easily could see this going down to 6 paragraphs, and that's what I would recommend to this author. But let's get to the particulars. In paragraph 7, and again, I'd hold it up, but it won't make any difference. In paragraph 7, she's got 6 sentences that I think could be cut down to 4 that pertain to her creds. Now, as I have told people consistently in my workshops, and you'll read it anywhere, that you always want to make sure that you give your credits as they pertain to your story. In this case, she does. Her credits are in fiction, and she's writing a novel. So that's good, but I would say that there's a lot of flab here. Just very quickly, I cut out several long passages, so I would encourage her to do that. In the last paragraph, she said that she offered a first couple of pages, and I would say that's fine, but I would encourage you to always check with the agent to see if they mind having a couple of pages sent with a query letter. Some of them do, some of them don't. Remember, this is our first introduction to this agent, and so we want to start out not breaking any rules. So I would encourage her to check that. And then paragraph 6, where she says that she compares her novel to The Secret Life of Bees, and then says, because her protagonist is young, that it could be a YA, but that she'll leave that up to the experts. I wouldn't do that. Here's what I would do. I would get a list of literary agents that represent this kind of genre, and I would also get a list of literary agents that represent YA, and I would pitch to both. Why not? If you have a literary agent who says to you, who's not YA, but says to you, you know, I really like this, but it's YA, chances are she will at least recommend an agent to you who does handle YA, or she might even pass it on to somebody in her agency. So, you know, don't sound unsure of the business. Send it to both and then let them tell you, gee, you know, I think this is YA or whatever. Okay. Talk about the voice very briefly. Remember that we always want to show, don't tell, even in a query letter. And this author did that somewhat. When she talked about describing the town as no bigger than a flea turd on the map. So good. I think that gives us a little bit of a flavor, and she adds a little more flavor in paragraphs, in her paragraphs after that. And then probably the only other thing that, again, we're listening for speed bumps, things that make us go, huh? Was at the end of her summary of this story. She says it's 1984, the year he turns 15 and truly becomes his father's son. I know that this is set in the 80s. I don't know now if this story ended in 84 or, so I'm a little confused there. And then the other thing that this author promised in the beginning paragraph was that this was going to be a story about Vietnam and the civil rights movement. I get the civil rights movement, not so much Vietnam. So I would really encourage this author to take one last sweep through and see if she can't tie together those two historical events in that last paragraph where she summarizes her story. And that would be in paragraph 6. Although, as I said, out of this 8-paragraph query letter, I think that she could reduce it to at least 6 paragraphs. And I would encourage her to do that. I think that's about it. Even though I read this before, I would say to this author that she's probably got 1 or 2 more rewrites on this query letter, but I like it, and I wish her well, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you.